Hey traders, Jason here from Levitt Brothers. In this video, I'm going to talk about my favorite bottoming pattern. Okay, I've been preaching for like 2 decades that the steps to successful trading are find a pattern or a sequence that works, something that fits your personality, study it, practice it, learn the nuances of it, get good at it. Okay, this is a performance activity, so you got to practice, get good at it, and then once you get good at it, the next step is to actually size up, and when you're able to size up, that's when you start making some real money. So all the charts I'm going to show you here, all the examples I'm going to show you are weekly charts. This plays out on the dailies, the hourlies. It even plays out on the 5-minute charts. Plays out on all time frames. All right, so let's go through some examples of what I look for. All right, so here's Nvidia. You can see in 2022 is just trending down, lower highs, lower lows, nothing special. What I look for is I look for a downtrending stock, and I look for some sort of move up that kind of breaks the trend. It neutralizes the stock. It doesn't start an uptrend. It just neutralizes the stock. It's enough of a move up to neutralize the downtrend. Then you either get a flag pattern going sideways, or you get just a minor pullback, or sometimes a double bottom, and then there's a continuation. I never get the first move because it's a weak stock trending down. I'm not even paying attention to it. But stuff happens during the consolidation pattern that clues me in that a reversal is taking place, and so my goal then becomes to nail the second move. Again, I'm doing all weekly charts here, but this plays out on all time frames. All right, so here is Nvidia trending down, as you can see. The first move up is this. No big deal. It's just a bounce within a downtrend. But when that bounce takes place, let's see what happened here. You have RSI here. I should probably go through this. You have RSI, MACD, and stochastic. Okay, during that first move up, you have the RSI breaks out. It either breaks out or it just makes enough upside progress to clue you in that like something has changed. The MACD crosses up and the stochastic crosses up too, or it has already crossed up. It tends to go first. So you have a cross here with the stochastic, a cross with the MACD, and the RSI breaks out. So all three of those take place. Then on the pullback, what happens is you get the stochastic cycles down and recrosses. The MACD does not cross back down. It just goes down and kisses and then bounces off. And while this is taking place, the RSI flags, and then it breaks out itself. Whoops. Okay? And when all three of those are happening, then you get a continuation of the move up. Okay? So the first move is cross here, and I'm going into a little bit more detail so you get it all, and then I'll go quicker through the next couple of examples. You get the stochastic crosses up, MACD crosses up, RSI breaks out, and then you get either a sideways movement up here, or a double bottom, or just a little bit of a pullback. But during that time, there are indications that the stock is strengthening. Okay, instead of going lower highs, lower lows, and continuing to trend down, you get the stochastic cycles down and recrosses. The MACD stays in its uptrending mode and doesn't cross down. You get a kiss, and then the RSI flags and breaks out, and then that's when you get buy signals. And as you can see here, Nvidia did very well. Let's go to the next example. IonQ. All right, another stock that was just kind of trading along the bottom here. So what we have here is we have this move up here, okay, which at first is just simply no big deal. It's just a move within a range. But when that takes place, you get enough of a move up here with the RSI where it takes out a couple previous highs. You get the MACD, which had actually crossed back here. You get the MACD kisses over here, and the stochastic crosses up here. So these three things line up pretty close. Then you get a consolidation pattern here, and during the consolidation pattern, the stochastic cycles down and crosses up. The MACD remains trending up, kisses, and then starts to expand. And while this is taking place, the RSI flags here and then breaks out. So you get all three of these things happening at approximately the same time, and that's your clue from a timing standpoint. Well, it's two things. This number one is that this base period is about to end. The stock's about to leave the base. And two, from a timing standpoint, like the crossing of the stochastic acts as a pretty good timing mechanism, okay? Because you have an up candle here, you're wondering, should I buy that? You have an up candle here, should I buy that? Up candle here, should I buy that? The stochastic is a timing mechanism. It helps you, be patient, wait, and when it crosses, then get in. So as you can see, the stock moved up, came down, tested the 21, and then moved up again. And then on that test, you had this came down and crossed again, this kissed again, and then the RSI came down, tested its center line, and then moved up again. All right, let's go to the next one. Here is Microsoft. So here's your first move up. At first, it's no big deal. It's just a bounce within a downtrend. We got lower highs, lower lows. In this case, it kind of gets rejected by the 21, but then there's this 1 week where it moves up to its 50. But during that bounce, what we have here is we have RSI breaks out of a little base here. MACD crosses up. So this, we get a trend line break here. MACD crosses up. Stochastic had already crossed up and was trending higher. Okay, so there's some potential here. Then Microsoft comes down and does essentially a double bottom. But during that double bottom, you have the stochastic cycles down, crosses again. The MACD does not cross back down. It just comes down and kisses, and the RSI flags here, and then it crosses up. So that tells you this double bottom is going to resolve up, and that's exactly what happened. It moved up, came back down, and then moved up. During this test right here, you had one more cross here, you had another kiss here, and you had another flag pattern here, which resolved up. Okay, it's a perfect sequence for the stock to have. Let me get rid of this stuff. For the stock to have a rolling double bottom, comes up, pauses, and then continues, and you have trend line break here, trend line break here, trend line break here. You have cross here, kiss here, and you had a cross here, cross here, cross here. It all lines up in a nice fluid sequence. And of course, this is the weekly, so it takes many months for this to play out. Here's SOXL. These are going to start looking the same if they haven't already, and that's fine because you only need one setup, study it, practice it, get good at it, learn the nuances of it. So here is SOXL. Let's zero in on, so here's a move here, no big deal. It's just a bounce off a low, lower highs, lower lows. The stock gets rejected by its 21. But during this time, stochastic crosses up and starts trending higher. MACD, which had crossed here, came down and kissed and then started expanding. And the RSI moved off of a low. And let me draw a line. Sometimes these things are, some of these are hard to see because the chart is so scrunched together. But then you get a breakout here. So you're starting to get some positive stuff here that line up. Then you get a dip back down and then a resumption. And then during that dip back down, you have stochastic cycles down and crosses. MACD remains trending up, does a little kiss there, and then RSI flags a little bit and then breaks out. Okay, so it all plays out similar to previous ones that I've posted. All right, let's move on to the next one. Here's Google. All right, so let's look at this. So here is what I'm going to focus on. Here is your first move up. Okay, again, no big deal. Downtrending stock. I'm not even looking to play it because it's a weak stock trending down below key moving averages. There's just no reason to really be excited about playing it. But we had a cross here, and then it's trending up. You had a cross here. Let me pause this a sec. Yeah, I'll just keep talking through it. All right, so you have a cross here, and then the RSI does make enough upside progress here. It does take out Whoops, didn't mean to erase those. It does take out previous high here, so there is potential here, okay? But then it crosses back down here, and the RSI, instead of flagging here and then breaking out, it drops and drops and drops. It lasts long enough that it kind of renders it like irrelevant because it just lasts too long. So then the stock tries again. Okay, then we have this move up here, which is a much better move because you get a bigger breakout there. Okay, so you have cross here, breakout there. Then we get this dip and recovery, and on that dip you get stochastic cycles down, you get a kiss there, and then you get a little flag pattern that forms here, and you get a breakout there. All right, so you get all this stuff is like to start it, and then you either get like a double bottom or a pullback or a flag pattern, and then you get all these that line up pretty close for the trade that I take. The first trade I missed because it's a weak stock and I'm not even paying attention. It's the second trade that I'm trying to get. All right, let me show you another one. Google failed there first and then it worked, but I'm going to show you another one that didn't work out. So here's OI. So we have this move up here, okay, which is enough to get the ball rolling. Okay, you got a cross here, MACD, which came down, came up, moved down, and then crossed again here, and then you have a breakout there. So RSI breaks out, MACD crosses up, stochastic crosses up, everything's looking good. This starts to pull back here, which is exactly what you want. You get stochastic crosses up, but you don't get an MACD kiss. The MACD just simply crosses back down, okay? And the RSI, which started to flag, which is exactly what you want, instead of that breaking out, it just kind of started bleeding downward. Okay, so you never got a signal from the MACD because it never kissed, and instead it crossed back down. You never got a breakout from the RSI, so the stock had potential to do really well, but it just didn't. It just kind of bled downward. Eventually it worked. The stock's now up in the teens, but it just didn't work at that point in time. All right, so I hope you got something out of this. This is my favorite bottoming pattern. Works on all time frames. Again, to become a really good trader, all you need is like one simple trade, something that fits your personality. Study it, practice it, learn the nuances of it, and once you get good, then you size up. And when you size up, that's when you start making real money. All right, we'll see you next time.